Hi everyone, this is Dr. Molly Bradshaw and this is week 4 of NSC 942 Informatics and Healthcare Delivery. So in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about the assignment of the usability assessment paper where you've piloted the mobile app and just kind of talk about what to be doing moving forward. So I sent some instructions and a grading rubric to follow the usability on the usability assessment paper, so I just want to go over that together. So the purpose of this assignment is to engage you in scholarly writing, organizational assessment, and the utilization and evaluation of mobile technology to improve patient care. And so I've asked you to critically appraise a mobile app that a patient would use using a set of criteria that was provided in that article, Systematic Evaluation of Mobile Apps. So the app can be web-based or it can be handheld. I'm assuming most of you used a handheld device. And I wanted the app to be free of charge, although there's no penalty if you paid for it. But you've been piloting this, so now it's time to write a paper. And what I've done is sort of created a context of writing this paper, hopefully so it'll be more real world. But we're going to talk through what the requirements for the paper are going to be. So on the grading rubric, it says step 1. So here's the context. I want you to pretend that you did this staff development, remember, where you developed those documents and you were getting the staff together to train them about a guideline. So I want you to pretend that that was a total success. And now the leadership team at your organization, the chief nursing officer, has asked you to do another project. So they bring you in a conference room, and I want you again to pretend that the chief nursing officer says to you the following: we're going to work on improving our clinical outcomes for blank condition. Someone suggested that getting patients to use mobile apps could be one way to engage them in their care and improve self-management of this condition. I need someone to investigate this for me. That would be you. I want you to identify some of the mobile apps that patients with this condition might use. Pick one, make sure it's free. I want to keep the cost down for patients. Try it out for a week. Pretend that you're the patient. Try to put data in it. And then systematically evaluate the app and tell me and report back to us if it's user-friendly. And I found an article to help you with that. So pretend that the CNO hands you that systematic evaluation article that I gave you on evaluating a mobile app. But the CNO says to you, I need a formal paper written up about this. And so as we've been talking about developing questions that can be answered in review of literature, evidence-based practice, the PICO question that you're trying to answer, or the way it would form in a PICO question, is to be, among patients with this condition, how can mobile technology apps contribute to improve self-management of the disease? Are they user-friendly? And how can you use mobile technology to improve your organizational attributes of health literacy? So one of the new concepts that we've introduced this week in week 4 is the idea of a health literate organization. So I put a document in the week 4 reading called the 10 attributes of a health literate organization. And I want you to particularly look at page 3 of that document, where it has the 10 attributes summarized, but then you can read through the document to read more about it. And I want you to think about what the CNO just asked you to do. I want you to think about the app that you just piloted and the patient population that you're trying to help. And I want you to think through, how well is the organization meeting or not meeting these 10 requirements? So you're going to consider and ponder all of that information, and you're going to write it up into a paper. So step number 2, after you've got your directions from the CNO, you've piloted your app, now we're on step number 2. You're going to use the article Systematic Evaluation of Mobile Apps to appraise the app you selected. Ensure when you write the final paper that you speak about what is novel or interesting about the app, the potential of benefit and risk, and if the app is medically sound and who developed the app. All of that is further explained in that article, Systematic Evaluation of Mobile Apps. Remember to be articulate about the ease of usability of the app and correlate your findings to how that's going to help your patients, okay? And then again, use the document, the 10 attributes of a health literate organization, to analyze the organization, because your boss is saying you did such a great job on your staff meeting. Now we want you to try out this app, and we want you to tell us if it's going to help patients and how can we make that flow into our patient care. So read that document, read this week's readings, but think about that health literacy component. And now you're going to prepare, step number 3, prepare and write a scholarly paper. So ensure in your writing this paper that you only use third person. Talk about it as if you're somewhere up above looking down. Do not use first person. We want this to be formal, so you need to use third person. The paper should not exceed 6 pages of double-spaced type text. You need APA formatting, so that will include a title page in APA format, an abstract, and you must include the keywords, the body of the paper, and then references. All the elements of the paper should be formatted in APA 6 edition. So remember my lecture from last week. I recommend that you write an outline of what you want to say before you actually start typing and writing the paper. It'll make everything flow the right way. You'll make your points more articulately. I do also sort of expect that you might bring in information from other sources. I would try to keep those sources from evidence, peer-reviewed journals, that type of thing. Again, don't use websites like ReachMD or WebMD or Mayo Clinic. Use scholarly, high science references on this. Discuss what is currently known in the literature about self-management of the disease. So what that means is, like, if you were a diabetic and we're trying to tell diabetics to do X, Y, and Z to take care of themselves at home, how does the mobile app help the patient improve that? And what does the literature say about what patients are doing well or not doing well in self-management of diseases? And then again, you're going to state the name of the app, analyze the experience. So if I were writing this paper, I might break this down into certain sections. So you might have kind of an introduction, kind of giving an overall feel of your patient population, the diagnosis, that type thing. Then you might break it out into self-management of the disease, and then piloting the mobile app and a section on that. Then another section on the status of health literacy in your organization, and then a conclusion. So that's just an example. You can organize the paper any way you would like, but that's a way to think about this. And of course, you need to be very concise about it because you don't have tons of room to write about it, but it should be adequate. And again, as you work through this in the conclusion, I want you to make at least 2 recommendations to the organization about what could maybe be done to help either integrate the app or disregard the app. You may find that the app is not worth using, and that's okay to say too. It was too difficult, it was too cumbersome, but what might be a next step or something that you might look at? Just a sentence or 2 on some recommendations and the implications of the patient experience, the patient outcomes from that organizational lens. So all of the information on what you'll be graded on is in the rubric. If you have any questions, let me know. But I hope this video helps kind of get oriented what the expectation for this paper is. And good luck, and we'll go from there.